Ready to go. So welcome to my Thriving Thursdays. Today's topic is staying loyal to what you said that you were going to do long after the mood that you said that you were going to do it in. And so what is that really the definition of? That is really the definition of commitment. Committing to things that you say that you're going to do. In my life, I found that I can be committed to something or say that I'm committed to it, right? What it is I found that I am committed to ideas. I like new ideas, things that move me. I like those things, but I am not committed to the process to get to the goal that I set for myself. So, that could be job, relationship, businesses that I've started, projects around the house. I'm not really a handy person, but there could be different things. It could be the gym, working out. And the idea, oh yes, I want to do this by this time, finishing another degree, for instance, I want to do this by this time. And then I'm all excited. Yes, let's go. I am doing this. And then in the midst of the process, I stop. I lose that enthusiasm. Do I really want to do this? Did I really hear what I thought that I heard? Is this something that I really want in my life? So I start questioning the goal that I have for myself, because maybe things aren't going as the way that I thought they were going to go. Maybe they weren't as easy as I thought that they were going to be. And so I stop and say, that's not for me right now, or that's not for me at all. And I'm going to go find something else. And so commitment is staying through the process no matter what. It's trusting the process no matter what comes your way. It's a saying that says anything worth having is worth working for. It's going to take some work to put into it. It's not going to come easy to you. And so you have to sit back, and it's a commitment day after day after day. And so I'm going to give you an example of what true commitment is. So my son, he plays football, and he was in his freshman year in high school, and it was the summertime. He had already tried out for the team. He had made the JV team. They were going into practice. So this is the first week of real practice. They hadn't really started putting on all of their equipment. They were just going through drills and stuff. He had knee-to-knee contact with another player, and his knee got really swollen, and they just thought it was bruised. So they was like, a bruise lasts for a couple of days. So he iced it. He set out for a couple of days. Bruises last for a couple of weeks, but he set out for a couple of days. And he was a player that plays on both sides, offense and defense. So they told him that we're going to allow you to play on defense, but we're not going to put you on offense until you are fully recovered. You're at 100%. So he would always say, I'm at 80, 90%. I'm not all the way there, but I'm almost there. I can get on offense. But they would not let him play, because they could see, even though he was out there on the field, he still had a limp on him. He still ran a little bit slow. And so they couldn't put him on offense, throwing him the ball as a receiver, and take the chance of him being too slow or running with that limp. So they kept him on defense. So week after week, he went on defense. He had no issues with going to practice. He was excited about being at practice and all of these things. But, as an athlete or anything that you do, you have to do extra. You have to go out. If you're going to school, you can't just do the work that you're doing in the classroom. You have to go and do homework. You have to study. If you're in an exercise group, you just don't lose weight from the exercise group. You have to do other things outside of those things. So I had him going to a trainer, and he was training, and he would ask, do I have to go? And I'm like, yeah, this is something that you need to do. It's a focus on you, an individual skill that you need to do. And so he was like, oh, and I'm just like thinking that he wants to stay at home and play the PlayStation and just not go out and work, right? And so it came 3 weeks, the season started, and he's still only playing, practicing on defense. And probably about the third game in, the coach said, you know what, I don't think that this might be a bruise anymore. You're taking too long to recover. I want you to go and get that checked out. Well, high school, they have trainers and all of this stuff. So he was seeing the trainer every day, and he was saying that he was feeling good and he was fine. He was like, I don't know why I need to go see the doctor. I'm fine. But he was covering up his real pain that he was having. He was not talking about that because he wanted to play so bad. He was committed to playing so bad, no matter what the feelings were that was going on, no matter what the coach said, no matter what, I am going to do this because this is my whole goal. So we end up going to the doctor, and I don't always pay attention to things. I think that I'm paying attention to details, but I guess this I did not pay attention to. So when we went to the doctor's like, okay, let me see what's going on. So he pulled his shorts up, and the knee that he hurt, his thigh was about this thin. So say his other thigh was like this big, and this thigh is this thin. And the doctor said, oh my goodness, what have you been doing all this time? Have you been playing football? Have you been walking around? Nobody should be moving with their leg looking like this. And, my son was like, yeah, I've been playing there. I haven't had any issues really. I just wanted to play. And so what came about is because he wanted to play so much and he hadn't fully allowed himself to recover, he was overcompensating on the other side. So when he was limping and he was doing all of these things, nobody really paid attention to the details of what was going on. But he was so committed to the process that he was going to go like that throughout the season until the season was over because he wanted to play. He was focused on his final goal. So it came out that he couldn't play anymore. He couldn't participate in PE. He just had to go to physical therapy for 2 months. And the doctor said, well, if we would have recognized this a while ago, then you might have missed a game or two, but now you are out for the rest of the season because we have to get this leg back together. So we had to go and do an MRI and all of this stuff to make sure that what was going on with his leg, what didn't need surgery because it was his knee. So he was like, it could be, something torn behind the knee and all of these things. So we went for an MRI, and it just came out that he had a chipped knee, and he was young enough to bounce back and recover. But he was so discouraged that he was going to miss the rest of his season to heal. And then he was also concerned because he plays multi-sports, going from football to basketball. So how is this going to affect me playing basketball and all of these things? And so he's focused on the bigger picture instead of focusing on the small piece that builds up to the bigger picture. If you're healthy now, if you're fit now, then you can be able to continue. But if you continue the way that you are, you could jeopardize later. And so I use that example as a mechanism to let you know what it means to stay committed to the process. And in staying committed, if he would have received the guidance, as the R in Thrive is receive guidance, if he would have received the guidance that he needed to make the proper decision, then his season might not have been cut short. He might have been able to come back later, but he was so focused on the goal, he was so committed to what he wanted that he neglected to receive the proper guidance as to what he wanted until it was later in the process. So commitment just isn't saying, I'm going to be focused on this, I'm going to do this, this is what I'm going to accomplish, nothing is going to come in my way to stop me. It's also receiving guidance and talking to experts, finding out what you need to do to continue. Are you going down the right path? Are you missing steps? Are you going down a longer path when you can take a shorter path? And as well as trusting the process, because things aren't always going to happen the way that we want them to happen, in the fashion that we want them to happen, and in the steps that we want them to happen. So long story short, going back to his commitment to the game, he recovered. Everything went back to normal, And he continued to train on the off season. Once he was cleared by the doctor, he continued to train. And then the next season he came back and was one of few players that left the field. He played offense and defense. He started on offense and defense because he was so determined. He took that time out to go through what he needed to go through. He trusted the process and said, I'm not stopping here. This is not it for me. What is going to happen is I'm going to continue to work hard. I've got the guidance that I needed. He continued to, every so often, we would have to go to the doctor. He would go to his trainer. Now they're aware of what to look for. Is he weighing heavy on one side? How is his hips going? So all of these things now take place in what he needs to do that can help him in the long run. So I want you this week to think about, how many times have you said that you wanted to do something? You were committed. You were being loyal. You wanted to do this, and then you got down the road and you said, this isn't for me. I'm not doing this anymore. It's not turning out the way that I wanted to turn out. It's not I'm not getting the likes that I want to get. I'm not receiving the results. And so you turn and go do something else, when you only really needed to do two things: trust the process and know that it will work out as long as you don't quit, as well as receive guidance. See who else has been where you are to help you to get to where you need to be. And so I can use this as a personal example for myself, and that is just stepping out, being a speaker, doing live videos, and stepping out of my comfort zone. This is a daily thing that I have to say to myself, Keisha, you can do this. You don't have to stay in your comfort zone and sit behind the computer and type up a little meme and post it, but you can actually come live and connect with your audience. You can let them hear you. You can let them see you. You can work on your gifts and you can develop. And so this is a process for me, as it is for you, as I'm giving you these key nuggets on how to go along your path every day. And so find something and go back and look at where you did not stay loyal, where did you not stay committed, and where in the process did you decide to give up. And I want you to look at and decide, is it something that just wasn't for you and you tried it and it just wasn't for you? Or is it something in the process that you could have received guidance to get clarity, to get understanding, how to go forward and to get the results that you want? So that is my challenge for you this week, is to go and look at these things and look at what you're doing now, the things that you said that you're committed to now, that you want to pursue now, and know that if you trust the process and you continue to get guidance, you can get to that goal. You don't have to be disloyal to yourself, because in the end, that's what it really is you're being disloyal to the commitment that you made yourself. Forget about the commitment that you made to other people, but the things that you have made to yourself. That's what we want to focus on to continue to go on. So that is it for Thriving Thursdays. Yes, I have came on. I didn't want to stay too long. I'm about to go watch some football because it is Thursday. And so thank you for joining me. Join me next week. Every Thursday. I had to start early this week, but typically every Thursday it will be at 7:30. So join me, like, share. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, any of those things, please inbox me, send me a message, let me know, because I want to connect with you just like you are coming to listen to me. Things that you might want to talk about or you have questions about, you would like me to expand on. I am here to help you as you are here to help me. So have a good week. Enjoy yourself. Remember to go back and look at those things that you wanted to commit to and you did not, the things that you're committing to now, because you are here to thrive in every situation of your life. So we do not want you just to be, what is the word I'm looking for? Not maintain, I just had a brain freeze. We don't just want you to accept what's going on. We want you to thrive in every area of your life. And so with that being said, I will see you next Thursday. Be committed. Let's go, because we are here to thrive as we are on our journey to greatness. Love you guys. Thank you for joining. I am out of here.